Coming in.
Coming in.
Joined your channel.
Hi, everybody. It's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? So we want to welcome you to What's the Story with Maria. We are here every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, and it's Armed Radio. Armed Radio is our mother station. We come through there. I want to thank Jim Bell. He is our producer and engineer. And right away, Rena Cruniali-Bergi, my cousin, has joined us. Manuel Soto has joined us. Eddie Kutu, Matthew Dean Fletcher, Leo Rodriguez, Goldie Diver. Hi, Goldie. Long time no see. Henry Kaplan, Jason Peck. Okay, so many wonderful people that join us every week. Isabella Raskowski, that's my cousin. Marisa. Ed Kutu, thank you. Welcome home, honey. Eddie Kutu is my friend from high school. He has a wonderful hair salon called Blades, and it's in Old Westfield, Connecticut. So welcome, everybody. Yes, I am back from Italy. Thank you for welcoming me home. And as Cheryl just reminded me, because she just got back from Italy, we both have jet lag. And I don't know what that is, because I don't think I've ever had it. But she said, oh, no, it takes a good week. And so I said, well, that's what I must be feeling, because my ears are still blocked and I'm like in space. So if that's what it feels like,
yeah,
right?
You're tired.
Are
you tired at weird times?
Well, because your body is off from being like in Italy. I was completely tired all the time, which was great because I slept really well. And then you get up at the crack of dawn, like you get up at 6. You're like, all right.
See, that's what I'm doing here. I've gotten up at 5 the past 4 and 5.
Yeah,
because I'm falling asleep at 7 at night.
Right, because it's backwards. But anyway, I'm just happy.
Has a different problem.
And the thing is, because I work nights, I have all this crazy, I work till 5 a.m.
Forget it.
But it's okay. I'm just like a little whacked out. Anyway, so the reason that I asked Cheryl to come on, I've been wanting to get Cheryl on for a long, long time. But the reason I asked Cheryl to come on, oh boy, we have so many more people. Oh, Stephen Daniello has joined us. Stephen is going to be calling in at about 9:25. He is an incredible chef, like a master chef, and he's going to be calling in, and we're going to interview him. Dennis Martinez has joined us. John Giovanni has joined us. Thank you, Jason Peck says, welcome home. Jeffrey Campbell has joined us. Christine Vanacore, Linda Austin. Hi, Linda Austin. Linda Austin is an amazing percussionist, and she's out in Las Vegas. And Linda, maybe we can have you call in some week, because I know you won't be home for a while. We have to talk. Robert O'Connell, who else? Let me see. Amy Griffith. We want to get everybody in. John Bray, Kilty. That's your friend Kilty Ridey has joined us. All right. Alice Ann Bardo, Janet Betta, Chris DePiero. Okay, great. So all these wonderful people are joining us. So let's get to it. So Cheryl and I met many years ago playing softball, I think, right? Isn't that? Yeah,
yes.
That's how we met.
It's been so long now.
I know.
I can't remember.
And then she got me a job working where she was working at the time. And then we became work buddies. And then Cheryl is the reason I live in this apartment. Did you know all these things about you, Cheryl?
I didn't.
Cheryl said, I was looking for an apartment, and she said, I think there's an apartment in my building.
Right.
Yeah, and it was this one.
And I kept telling you to bug the guy that he wouldn't get back to you.
Right.
And I said, don't give up.
Don't give up. You're the reason.
Pestering him.
So I came and looked at, I gave the super $100 to let me look at the apartment. Because everybody said no.
True New York style.
Right, that's what you got to do. No apartments, sorry. And I was like, well, I know there's an apartment in there. I didn't mention you because I didn't want to get you in trouble. One of my friends lives in the building. So finally I gave him $100. He's like, hold on. So he let me in this apartment, and I fell in love with it right away because I love the arches. And then it was trying to get past that to get to the landlords. Mm-hmm. And he had to go to them every single day for 2 weeks. Not Fridays, because they were Hasidic Jews, are Hasidic Jews. And so you couldn't bug them on Fridays. But eventually, they let me in. And I have this apartment because of you. Thank you so much. All right. Welcome. So Cheryl Orsini is not only my friend, an amazing actress. She also is an Italian connection. Not just because she's Italian, but she is a newlywed, right? How long have you been married now?
Well, New York, we were married in November.
Okay.
And we just had the Italian.
Part
in August.
Okay. So
so what is it, 10 months? It's been like a little over 10 months.
Yeah.
From
all
the
right.
first.
So Massimo, right?
Massimo.
Okay. So her husband now, I can't believe it.
I know,
can't
it's
believe
weird,
saying
right?
it's weird, right? So your husband Massimo, you met. So I knew you as an actress first.
Right.
And you.
Well, you knew me as a softball player first.
Right. Well, which by the way, she was an exceptional center fielder
please.
and hitter. And wait a minute, you can hit from both sides of the
That's
plate, right?
That's right.
All right.
Switch hitter.
Switch hitter. And now double entendre on the softball team. People were always trying to get Cheryl to. Anyway, but that's another story for another day.
Right.
So Cheryl could hit from both sides of the plate, which was cool. And she was an incredible center fielder. And then
You saw me in quite a few of my.
Quite a few of your shows.
Mm-hmm.
And then you were doing shows for this one company, and tell us the name.
Schoolhouse Theater, which
I came
in
it's like up
Croton Falls.
Okay, which is a beautiful little
but
theater.
it's under different artistic direction now. I think it still exists. It's just under a different artistic director now.
And you haven't done anything with them as of late.
With the new group of people, no.
Okay.
Because the artistic director from there is now the head honcho of the Neighborhood Playhouse.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pam Karaman.
Okay, I don't know her.
Yeah.
But and then this company with Kevin
and
Nicola, of course. Who Nicola's going to be on our show soon.
Oh, really?
Yes.
He was just there. I saw him in Italy.
Did you really?
It was the first time I saw he and Kevin together
in Italy.
There with Massimo, because they're the reason Massimo
So yeah, tell this
together.
story, please. Okay, let's just take a second. If anybody else is Jamie Allen, our friend switch hitter. Yes, of course, Jamie. Well, that's what we used to call her on the softball team. Okay, and Joe Gulla, my friend Joe Gulla, also an Italian who lived in Rome. Joe, look at my shirt. Joe lived in Rome for 3 years and actually wrote a play about it called Garbo, which was at the Cherry Lane Theater. You should meet Joe Gulla. He's an amazing.
You'll have to connect.
You will love Joe Gulla, and Joe Gulla will love you. Okay, so I have my Roma shirt. Kyle de Blasio has joined. John Pandish. Thank you, everybody. So now, please tell us the story about how you were working for this theater company with Nicola and Kevin, and how you met your husband. Your Italian husband.
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead. And just pick up your voice a tiny bit.
We had been workshopping this production that Nicola, who is from Calabria,
right,
from a little town called Roccella Ionica.
Okay.
And it's all the way
tiny,
all the way down at the bottom on the Ionian coast.
Wow.
Okay. So he wrote this movement theater piece with the idea to describe what it was like in a typical Mediterranean town.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so it basically follows the stories of several townspeople.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And I played sort of a conglomerate of sort of not a stereotype, if you will, but the mourning woman. Like, my husband was a fisherman.
Okay.
He went out to go fish and he never returned home.
Wow.
And so there's this whole little mourning scene where I sing this song in Greek.
Okay.
So it's not just Italy, but the whole Mediterranean. Right? So we had workshopped this a few times. I want to say 2 or 3 times in the previous years. And it's called, oh my God.
Oh, it'll come to you.
Mediterranean Voices.
Okay. Okay.
And in this time through, we were trying to get, it was like a backing audition, not a backing audition, but it was to get people to contribute money to do a full production.
Right.
And so Nicola wanted to enlist the help of his friend who had a band in Italy, that they would provide their original songs to this production, which we did at the Joyce in Soho. And so they flew the band here, put them up for almost a month in Queens. They rehearsed prior to the actors and the dancers, and for the music aspect of it, to chart everything out and what song was going to go with what scene. And then when we all came together, that's when we all met, and Massimo spoke no English,
at all.
and I spoke no Italian. You know, basically.
But wait, but was there chemistry right away? I mean, he's pretty cute.
I mean, I was
Did you notice him?
I noticed, I mean, all of them, but there were a lot of Italian speaking people in this production.
Wow.
So I was sort of the odd man out being the English speaker in this sense. And I sort of always get a lay of the land when I'm in a new situation. So I was not my typical outgoing self. I was more quiet, reserved, taking it all in, getting a lay of the land. And we really didn't, I mean, I remember speaking to him, but it wasn't anything like, when it really came together was the night before our production. Kevin hosted a dinner for everyone. And that's when there was sort of a connection. He asked if he could sit next to me.
Wow.
And we were, and then of course, Kevin laid down the law and told all of them, she's a serious girl.
Wow.
No funny business.
I love that.
And you know, because they were asking who's the, you know, tell us a little bit.
Who's the redhead?
Cheryl.
Who's the switch hitter?
And so
who is that?
So from then on, I mean, the day he left, we decided to meet and take a walk in Central Park. And
Maria Colati has joined us.
Maria.
You see, a lot of your buddies are coming on.
I know. I can't believe it.
So
from then on, we sort of kept in touch, you know, as happens when you're both older, you come with a little bit of baggage on each side. And so it took us a while, but we kept in touch, and never in my wildest dreams did I imagine it would end up in the way that it did.
Unbelievable.
I live part-time there and part-time here.
So Cheryl, my softball friend, my co-waitress, co-bartender, amazing actress. So you live part-time in Italy,
Yes.
part-time here, and sometimes your husband's here, right?
Yes,
as well?
because he's a professional percussionist and
Right.
drummer. And so while he's here,
Drummers are always the cutest, don't you
yes,
think?
I think so.
I think so too.
Yeah, I always
Yeah.
had the fantasy of being with a musician, of course.
Of course, that's if you want to get a chick, you want to get a girl,
It's true.
you got to be a musician.
It's
That's
true.
all there is to it.
It's true. It helps.
Always.
It helps.
That's the coolest thing in the world you can be.
Comes here and he does master classes while he's here. When he comes here, he's teaching at NYU
Wow.
for a master class there in early October. And then in later October, he's teaching at Cal Arts. He's flying out to California to teach out there. And he may be teaching at Hofstra. I'm not
See,
sure
I think that is the trick.
And
Now,
with
so when
his-
you're talking
as
about,
he calls it, his spaghetti English.
does it work though?
He charms them.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
They
I
keep
think
asking him back.
yeah,
So he
and
must
if
be
he-
doing something
when you
right.
have an accent, it's just sick. And now you're a musician and you have an
Right.
accent. Like when I was in Italy this time, I met some really wonderful musicians, and they are so cute. And their English isn't perfect at all, but they're just so
Well, you have
willing.
the common language of music,
Well, I speak
right?
fluent Italian, so that helped. But I speak a dialect, so a lot of them were kind of like laughing. But because they were like, wow, you sound like you're from that area, but you weren't born in Italy. You know what it's like when you have an accent? It's like as if a little child comes here from Italy and he has a Brooklyn accent,
Right.
like a total.
Well, do you know that they say that most of the dialects now exist only in the United States because
Really?
it's
Italy has
because
kind of
the
like
immigrants, it's petered out because the
Oh.
older generation has died and they're
picking up like they're
only
Pennsylvania,
speaking
right?
proper Italian.
Wow, that's
Whereas
interesting.
here in the communities, because it's been passed down from generation to generation,
Right.
here, you'll have people your age, you'll have people maybe
Younger.
in their 30s and 20s speaking dialect.
What
that
they
doesn't
learned
even
from their
exist.
parents and grandparents. That's really
Yes,
interesting.
Yes,
Jamie Allen says he speaks banjo. You know what?
he sure does.
I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. Maria Filiamani has joined us. And how did they like your accent? Maria, they loved my accent. They laughed at it, but not in a making fun of me way. They were just like, oh my God, where did you get that accent? You sound just like,
You're from the little town that
Yeah,
your parents were
exactly. And I said,
Yeah.
well, that's what I heard every
Growing
day.
up.
And that's what I learned. So, but I learned a little Petbani while I was there too. So I also brought back this because everything, I mean, you live there now part-time. And also you talk about Massimo comes over here as a musician. And now because he's your husband and he's living here part of the time,
Right.
he uses his art here.
Yes.
which is wonderful now. And also I want to talk about you using your art there, because you are an actress, but you're also make these amazing desserts, right? So you would fall under pastry chef?
That's going pretty far. I'd like to say I have
You're a
a
dessert.
very big interest in the baking arts.
No, I have eaten and I've seen,
But I
eaten,
have
smelled.
no training. It's all
Yeah, but it
self-taught.
doesn't matter. But
Self-taught.
dessert is not like when you're a cook like me, I love to cook, but I'm not following recipes. I'm just creating them
Well,
as I
I
go.
like to equate cooking
I gotta show you.
with being like a jazz artist. You're improvising. You're just throwing
That's a
stuff
great
in
way
there.
to put it.
But for bakers, you're more of a classical player because you
Wow.
have to follow the notes in baking. That's what
exactly
I say.
what
Yeah.
it is.
There's
I
no
can't-
improvising.
And you know
in
what's
baking.
funny?
It's called throwing things away and starting
Right.
again.
In my real life as a musician, I am not. I would never be a classical because I just wing things,
Right.
and I am a jazz
Yeah.
artist. So I want to show you this beautiful menu. One of the places that we went in Rome, we walked and walked and walked.
Can I hold the bottom?
Yeah,
for
of
you?
course. And our friend Catherine Salvio has a lot of friends there. So her friend Alberto took us to this place. We walked and walked. Now you got to remember, Rome is. I'm just in love with it. It's all ruins. You have the Colosseum and ruins, and then like restaurants and nightlife and ice cream shops, and you're like in what was happening in BC, AD, all that stuff.
Yeah,
But
that people take for granted there because they're
They're
just
just loving
living their lives.
But did you know that? So this is one of the restaurants, and I just loved it. Everything is like handwritten. These scrolls, and the guy was like, "You can take one of those." He actually gave me 2 to take, which I think is so cool. And so it's like a lot of stuff like this, and they actually take a year of Roman history in school, a full year of it, and they really know their history over there. So it's just really cool. I just found it to be amazing, and I highly suggest if you go to take the guided tour of the Colosseum, because the history
It's
there,
fascinating,
it's
right?
fascinating
I think in
and
general,
very
though,
dark, way
Yes,
darker than
yes.
I realized.
In general, don't you think Europeans have a better sense of history than Americans?
Look, I have mixed
World history.
Yes, I was gonna say I was very glad to come home as well. Like I was glad to be in another country, but I
Right.
was so grateful to come back because I love being American and I love all the freedoms we have.
Right.
But I gotta tell you, they are really very. There's an innate artistic sense to them. Everything is beautiful, and they go to great lengths to make it beautiful, and they take great pride in making things
Oh,
beautiful.
you've never met more proud people.
No. And I found that so, like, I found myself caught in this vortex of being so proud of my heritage
Right.
and finding things there that I was like, oh my God, I do that. Or I would create that exactly the way that was. And I had never seen
Because
that
it's
thing.
in your blood.
It's in my blood.
Right.
So and even like the way things are painted there or distressed, like I do the exact same thing in this apartment without even realizing it,
Mhm.
or the way that I create foods or things that I'm drawn to. But I was so proud to be Italian, and then yet I was so proud to say that I was an American. Like
Mhm.
I really found that. And I also
Don't you also think that they, as soon as they hear that you're from New York,
oh my God, New
it's
York,
like, because
their
they know
eyes
it
bulge
from
out
the
of their head.
films.
Yeah.
It's what they know New York as.
and the musicians especially, the musicians were like, they all said the same thing. That is my dream.
Yeah.
And I realized, wow, like I am living that dream, as big or small as it may be, like I'm living it, and it's a big deal. So let me just, okay. So I want to check I'm going to go back today. I know we're talking a lot. I'm going to go back and check everybody's comments later, but, yes, everybody's saying the same thing about the baking. It's different with baking. I could never be a baker. I can't concentrate like that. Okay, so the reason that I wanted to have Cheryl, I've wanted to have her on for a long time, but this was a perfect show, is because what I also found fascinating, to no one's surprise, is the food in Italy. It tastes completely different.
Mhm.
Your tastes are the same. So my desires as an Italian or someone you don't have to be Italian, but exposed to Italian great foods, is that you are drawn to those things. But the incredible thing is that when you go to taste it, you don't even know what's happening to your taste buds. It's like, what the hell just happened? Everything is so fresh And I mean like really fresh. Another thing that I realized is they don't use preservatives.
No,
They don't.
generally speaking. I mean,
Right. I mean, I'm
the
sure
world
there's-
has changed a lot, but
Right.
in general, they don't snack. Like I
No.
find that from where
No.
Massimo's family is from and where I stay now, there's no packaged foods. And if you have a
No.
snack, it's like,
An apple
fruit.
fruit.
Or in the summer, of course, it's always like, oh, do you want to have gelato for dinner?
Right.
Gelato for dinner. Gelato for dinner because it's
Well,
hot and
Yeah. And the gelato, by the way, ridiculous.
yeah.
Just ridiculous. You can't even, you don't even know what the hell to do with yourself. So let me just keep checking here. So Joe Roman Lars has joined. Valerie Perez has joined. Kia Nelson. Hi, Kia Nelson. She's from Philly. She's a Philly girl.
Philly girl.
Cheryl's a Philly girl.
That's right.
So, the things are really fresh. Now, another thing which was like a dream come true for me is there's prosciutto everywhere. That's my favorite food.
And they're probably cutting it for you.
No, there are restaurants
Yes, with
that
the
literally
big-
have
with the
the
big
giant
leg.
prosciutto,
Yeah.
and there's like a knife attached, and
Yeah.
they do this, and then everything is like,
That's about as fresh as you get it.
yeah. But we used to have that one, and I never realized this until I went there. We used to have these basements full of these prosciuttos just hanging, and like when I was a kid, and that was no big deal. And then they would just slice from there. You could always get prosciutto, so that was really cool, and it's everywhere. And then after a while, I was like, okay, if I have any more prosciutto, my blood pressure is going to go through the roof because it's already high anyway. But, you know who's calling in right now? Stephen Daniello. All right.
We got to get a
Hi, Stephen.
professional's take
Hold
all
on one
this.
second. Let me get you on speakerphone. Go ahead, sweet. How are you, honey? Just raise your voice a little bit because we want to make sure you're heard. So this is Stephen Daniello, everybody.
Hi. Hello, everybody.
And he is an executive chef. We would call you executive chef. He is a master chef. And right now, Stephen, you are out in Fire Island. Is that correct?
That is correct. I'm here on Fire Island.
Okay. So I was, I love you anyway, and I follow you anyway. But today I did a little research. I went to your website, which, by the way, and I know we have a lot of friends that put websites up. It's www.officialsharechef.com. So if Leo Rodriguez, you're out there, if you could put that up, that would be amazing. Otherwise, I will put it up. So if you want to go after the program, if you want to go and check out Stephen's website, it's fascinating. There's all kinds of things on there. But so, Stephen, I watched some of your interviews. So, well, fill us in on what you're doing right now, because I know you've done so many things, but what you're doing right now.
Well, I'm just wrapping up my season on Fire Island. I cater. I'm a caterer out here, and I call myself the Fire Island Celebrity Share Chef because I do cook for celebrities. And as I mentioned earlier when we spoke, I rent a home that has a restaurant kitchen where I do all my cooking. And the home is also 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, and I do Airbnb and I rent. So I've got a lot going on here. I rent out rooms, vacation rooms for the summer. So in addition to cooking, I'm also entertaining guests, and now it's time to pack it up and get ready to go back to New Jersey for the winter and then travel from there.
Okay, now speaking of celebrities, so I went on your website, and these are just some of the celebrities that you have cooked for. So my favorite, and my friend Dominic Poop is going to freak out. Cher, he cooked for Cher, Cyndi Lauper, Liza Minnelli, Neil Sedaka, who, by the way, I know I actually opened for him a couple years back, and he was a lovely guy. And actually, he ended up taking me and a friend out to lunch a few months later. He's a sweetheart. Melba Moore, Wanda Sykes, Carson Kressley, Randy Jones, Andy Cohen, Michael Musto, Elvis Duran from Gloria Gaynor, the Bonnie Pointer, Bruce Valanche. I mean, it just goes on, this list of celebrities. So is that all at Fire Island, or did you meet them across the country, Stephen?
Believe it or not, it was all from Fire Island, and you mentioned Neil Sedaka, and he is adorable.
I love him.
He even comes to my house every 4th of July, and I do him a dinner in my private dining room. And last year he was here, and he said, "Stephen, why isn't there a piano here?"
Wow.
And I said, "Neil, I couldn't do that to you. It's your night off." He goes, "But that's what I do. I
No.
love to sing."
He loves it.
So, yeah. So I have to have a piano here or some type of a keyboard next time he comes.
Oh my God. You can mention my name. He's such a sweet guy. I opened for him at some birthday party many, many years ago. And then he invited me to his birthday party a couple years after that. And that's what he loves to do. He just loves to get on the piano and just play all night.
Yeah, everywhere he goes. Yeah.
And then he came into the duplex a few times, and
He came to the
duplex. Yes.
God.
And he said,
Did he cause a riot?
yeah, it was amazing.
That's the crowd he would cause a riot.
And he said, "Would it be okay if I played the piano?" Can you imagine that? And he did.
So much fun.
Yeah, he's a lovely guy. So what's his what was something you would cook for him, Stephen?
Oh, God, we did a beautiful bruschetta. Speaking of Italian food, you had me at prosciutto and gelato. That's when I called you.
Oh, my God, right?
Yes, but he actually, the first time I met him, he was on a special diet.
Okay.
And I was the chef at Top of the Bay in Cherry Grove, New York, which is a 5-star restaurant. And it was the rival to the Monster back in the 70s. Remember the Monster?
Right, of course, yeah.
Okay. So Neil said to me, I want fish, and I can't have salt and pepper, and I can't have all these spices. What can you do for me? So on a sizzler platter with olive oil, white wine, lemon juice, and fresh herbs, I did a broiled sea bass for him.
Wow.
And when I went to the table to go see if he liked it, he said, "This is amazing." He said, "You gave me flavors that I don't get anymore."
Wow.
He said, "Everything is so bland." And from that day on, he followed me to all the restaurants, and I cook for him in my home now.
That's amazing. So do people discover you mostly word of mouth, or do they see you in interviews or on television? How do people usually discover you?
Well, I have a history on Fire Island. I have an 18-year history. So they know me through Fire Island, Cherry Grove, and Pines. Then, when the closes at the end of the season, they go everywhere. They go to Palm Springs, they go to Miami, they go to New York City, and then they call me when they need me. And a lot of it is word of mouth. And now with social media, you and I were talking earlier about Instagram and Facebook and how to expand and reach bigger audiences.
Yeah, it's amazing how you can reach people so far away now, and we can stay connected. It's just incredible, I think. And even being in other countries, we can follow each other and things like that. So if someone wants to hire, a celebrity chef, you're having a wedding, you're having a special party, they can contact you, and you will be in contact with them and plan things. And so it doesn't matter if you're having an incredible party and you want something really special, you can get a hold of Stephen Daniello, StephenDaniello, and we're going to put that website up. Again, it's official share, SHARE chef.com. So you want to follow Stephen, and Stephen, I looked at your plates, that's just some of them. And I gotta say, and this is part of what I want to talk to you about, is first of all, they're beautiful. Like visually, they're so colorful and beautiful. And so were you, as a kid, the kind of kid that was artistic, like visually artistic as well?
I could never even draw a stick figure in that artistic sense.
Really?
I was terrible. I mean, the art comes out in the food with me. And we talked earlier, and you wanted to know where it started.
Yeah, please.
It started in junior high with home economics. Do you remember home economics?
Of course.
Do they even offer home economics?
I don't know if they
classes
have it
anymore?
anymore.
I don't know. They used to have wood shop and metal shop, and everybody had to do all that baking, sewing. So in home ec baking class, I would go home on weekend. You know, I would go home from school, and then on Friday or Saturday, I would start baking in the kitchen. I would make the biscuits and the cookies and the cornbread that they taught us.
Wow.
And believe it or not, and Cheryl is with you, right? She's a pastry
Yes.
chef.
Yeah, she's a pastry chef. But yeah, she makes a lot of different desserts.
I think she would appreciate this. My first job was in a bakery.
Oh my God, that's
it
hard
was-
work.
Yes, long hours. I used to go in the middle of the night and,
Yeah.
you know, make the donuts and proof the bread and
Wow.
and that's old school bakeries, you know. So what happened is not only did I go in, well, this is how I started baking at night with the bakers. I
Right.
was a porter. I would go in after school and clean the bathrooms, put away the deliveries, wash the pots and pans, and clean the bakery.
Wow.
And then one day there was they're called dumb waiters. You can heard of dumb waiters and elevators.
Yes.
So it would come from the basement and the floor would open up. Well, one day one of the counter girls that we called them counter girls, was sending stuff from downstairs up, and she forgot to take all the rolling cake racks off the door, off the what do you call it? The elevator door. It was a flat thing that raised up,
Right.
and then all the cakes went all over the floor.
Oh my God.
Nightmare.
And they would be, yes, nightmare. And they were being picked up by 5 o'clock. It was like I got there after school, and the bakery closed at 7, and the owner's wife was running around crazy trying to reach them. But the bakers were all sleeping because they work in the middle of the night.
Right. My Uncle
And-
Johnny was a baker, so I know the baking life. My mother's
Yeah.
brother.
Enter Stephen and his entree into the professional baking
I
world.
can't believe it. So go ahead, Stephen. This is
While-
crazy.
While they were running around crazy, I just picked up the cakes and started fixing them. I don't know how I did it.
Oh my
I-
God.
They had all the flours already made, you know, the hard
Right.
icing flours. They had the whipped cream and the buttercream already in the bag sitting there. And I just put the cake on the wheels and just started spinning.
Oh my God.
And I said to Joanne, the owner, I said, the only thing I do not know how to do is write. And she said, I can do that. But she goes, you're amazing.
Oh my
Well, the
God.
next day, the owner was waiting for me, the head baker. When I got to school, I showed up. He said, I heard what you did yesterday. I want to offer you a job and more money.
Oh wow. That's like something out of a movie.
Yeah.
I love that story.
But so that's how that all started. Then, you know, later on, I started getting jobs in restaurants when I needed more money, and
Yep.
I had a car. And chefs would always take me with them. If they were leaving a restaurant, they would say, could you come with us? Do you want to quit and come with us?
Yeah, but you know what that's about, Stephen? That is about work ethic. So obviously you had a great work ethic then, even as a kid.
Right.
That-
Oh, yes. Well, my mother, you're going to love this.
Yeah.
My mother said to me, if you're not going to do your homework and you're not going to join sports, you're getting a job.
Good for her. She was right.
Yeah.
She-
Yeah.
And look, it paid off. I mean, look at your career. It's amazing. And you know what I
Yeah.
love? One of the things I love about you, because I love so many things about you, but you're such a joyful person. Like every time I see you, you're just bursting with joy. And when I follow you, you love what you're doing. And not everyone can say that, you know?
Yeah, no, you're right. That's what you know. If I'm not happy, I make a change. You know, if something feels like it's just a job or it's not bringing any pleasure to me or anybody else, I love when people are eating my food and I see those plates cleared and they're talking. You know, when a dining room is quiet, all of a sudden they're just enjoying the food. You know.
Yeah, that must be an incredible feeling, right?
Well, you know right away if something is successful or not. It's like
Yeah.
talk about an association with like live performance.
Yeah.
the audience,
Yes.
the customers, they let you know immediately,
That's true.
right?
Now Cheryl's husband, in Italy, they have a bed and breakfast. So Cheryl's been making all the desserts and the pizzas and everything there too, right?
Right. I
Yeah.
don't make pizza for them, but I definitely do the breakfasts.
Yeah. So now, Stephen, what's the most amount of people that you ever? What was the biggest event? Most amount of plates?
Well, it was when I worked for Disney and we were doing their 25th anniversary. 2,000 people.
2,000.
Oh yeah. Well, I also you're probably familiar with World Cruise Lines in New York City. Are you familiar with them?
What is it?
World Yacht Cruises. They're on the West Side
Oh,
Highway.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes. I've seen it.
They met back in the 80s when I graduated from the Culinary Institute of America, which we forgot to mention.
Yeah.
I graduated from the CIA in 1987.
Okay.
I got a job with World Yacht Cruises. It was called Elegant Dining Afloat. We were the first dinner cruise ships on the Hudson, 4-hour dinner cruise, but we did everything from scratch. And we would do 300 people a night.
Wow.
300 dinners a night. But I have done big parties and big corporate events for up to 2,000 people.
That's incredible. And let me ask you something. What now? Because you're okay. So you're a chef. You have access to all these amazing foods, recipes you've created over and over for years and years. But when you need comfort food, what do you make yourself?
I take pasta with butter and cheese.
I love
Oh my
it.
God.
You too?
My husband would be in love with him right now.
Yes,
That's his favorite thing to eat. He likes plain pasta, olive oil, Parmesan. Stop.
that's it.
It's amazing. It's just the minute you put it together, I can't wait to get it in the bowl.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like I always, sometimes it's the simplest things.
It
It's
really is.
just the simplest things. For me, it could be something as simple as like a salad with oil and vinegar, and then just some bread. Like something so
you really
simple.
want a good piece of bread with that.
Yeah. Oh
right?
no. You know what? That's the only thing in Italy that I just the bread was not what I was expecting.
Really?
Yeah. So maybe it's the regions that I was in.
Did your family make their own bread?
My Uncle Johnny, my mother's brother, was a baker. So I'm
so
used to his bread,
Yes.
but
You're used to
yeah. And yeah, you're used
house
to what you're
bread,
used to, but it's
right.
always simple things I think that people crave,
when they want comfort.
when they want
Definitely.
comfort food.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I mean, well, when I first started in the business, chefs were to be seen and not heard. And we were always in the kitchen. We were considered like servants. We were greasy. We were dirty. But the TV chef has changed that now, and I'm so happy. I caught the tail end of the School of Hard Knocks
Yeah.
and enter the TV chef. And, people are always looking for a pretty plate, a presentation, and I do give them that. But I do not build, towers like you would appreciate this. Ossobuco over risotto.
Yeah.
Right.
Simple.
Right.
Rigatoni bolognese. Comfort food.
Yeah.
Good food. People associate, I can put a prime rib on a menu and people will still come out of the woodwork for it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's why they're classics.
Yes. That's a
People
great.
want them, right?
That's a great point. Classics. I mean, you can, and that's not something that you're always going to make at home. Is a prime rib. Even meat. My favorite comfort food is meatloaf and mashed potatoes, and I do not make that. It's not something I'm going to whip up. So when I go to a restaurant and
you
it's,
see that on the menu,
I go crazy.
Do you?
I go crazy every time, and I have to get it. I'll chase a good meatloaf anywhere. I'm telling you. So
exactly, and that's what I do. I do give a presentation. I do put on a show. My personality comes with the food. I do entertain along when I'm cooking. Oh, and I don't know if I can say this, but I do. I don't take pictures. I'm not allowed to. But I did some beautiful meals for Scarlett Johansson out here on
wow,
Thailand.
that is amazing.
She is an amazing person. I've cooked for her for 3 summers, but she didn't come out this year because her house was under construction.
Okay.
but I've done some beautiful Mediterranean dishes for her. So when I cook for certain people, they pretty much tell me what they want, and then I create
And
it.
you
But
create
for the
it.
most part, yeah, I can do anything, and you tell me what you want, and I'll do it. But most of my menus, you'll see, there's steak, there's lobster, there's crab. I'm known for my lump crab meat.
Yes, I was looking at that. Oh my God. You know, like I looked at also you had 3 separate like kind of menus for like catering, you know, like you had the barbecue one and you had the seafood one and there was another one that was kind of like a breakfasty one. It was amazing.
Yes. People love my brunches, and I'm sure you appreciate this. Remember the day when you would go to a hotel and they would have this big spread with the ham and the turkey. And,
we used to go in Massachusetts. It was in Manchester, it was called, and it was called The Surf, this place. I remember it like, and nothing exists like that anymore.
No, there isn't. So I create Sunday brunches here on Fire Island.
Oh my
and
God.
Anywhere people call me to go. I have clam bakes. I bring back clam bakes. I will cook your lobsters in big pots in front of you.
Wow.
And I will do raw boners, and I will do all the different clams oregano, clams casino, oysters Rockefeller. I bring back the oldies with a new flair.
So, Stephen, let me ask you, if someone were to want you to create that at their event, you could do that?
Oh, yeah, without a problem.
We have to do this. We have to figure out how to do this, how to get Stephen at some kind of family thing, because this is amazing. All right. Well, Stephen, you are coming back to the New York, New Jersey area in about a month, right?
Yes, I'll be back in a month.
Okay.
I'll be consultant for a restaurant this winter. But like as you know, I do travel.
Yes, I know. I know you travel a lot, and I do have friends in Miami as well as Palm Springs. And so just look up Stephen again. I'm going to put that website up. If I think someone already has, but it's www.officialshare, sharechef.com. And you will find Stephen Daniello. He is my friend. I'm proud to say he's my friend, and he's an amazing chef and a wonderful guy. And Stephen, you're 100% Italian?
Oh, no, I'm Italian, Irish, and German.
Wow.
The same combo as me.
Is that true? Oh, the same combo as Cheryl.
Yeah, I'm 50% Italian, 25% Irish, and 25% German.
Amazing. Well, honey, I want to thank you for calling in. I'm so happy that you did. And anything that you do, please post it on either my page or directly to What's the Story with Maria's page. And so people know where you're at, okay?
Yes, I definitely will. And also they can find me on Facebook, Stephen Daniello.
Okay. And Instagram?
And Instagram is Share Chef Stephen Daniello.
Okay.
And then I even have a Facebook Share Chef page. So they can find me in 4 different locations. My email's attached to all of that. My private messaging, they can get in touch with me. And you can get in touch with me. And as I pass through the city, on my way home, I will pop in to see you, Maria.
Okay, my love. And one of our, Leo Rodriguez just put it up on Facebook, your website. So it's on there now for our viewers and listeners. Okay?
I will look for what's his name, Leo Rodriguez?
Leo Rodriguez. He's a great guy. You should Leo, friend Stephen Daniello. You guys would love each other.
Great, thank you.
Okay, sweetheart.
All right, and Cheryl, I look forward to meeting you and to you as well.
Okay, wonderful. All right, love. Thank you so much, Stephen. We'll talk soon, okay?
All right, definitely. Bye-bye. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Bye, honey.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so that was Stephen Daniello. First of all, he's really an amazing energy. He has this very happy energy. And he's beautiful to look at, and he's just amazing and sweet. Thank you for doing that, Leo. So now, I would be remiss if I didn't. This happens every week. Cheryl, you're going to have to jump on board. What? My cousin Gina Savino has joined, and when Gino Savino joins, we clap. Gina Savino! Everybody out there clap. Okay, good. That is official. We have to do that. So I haven't been able to really read people's comments because we've been, on the phone and stuff. So I will go back and read them, I promise. But so much good stuff is happening here. All right. So how much time do we have? We have 10 minutes left. Oh my God, it flew by. I want to show you what I have for food because, I always cook. And the name of the part of this program is called Go Ahead, Keep Eating. Okay. So what did I make today? I made things that I had while I was in Italy. And I couldn't make everything I had because I wouldn't have had enough table space. But one of the things, when we first got there, Judy, my honey Judy, was not feeling well. So the woman, when we got to Tuscany, we were driving, and the woman that was running the resort, her name is Nadia. She's amazing. She said, then I'll make tortellini in brodo.
In brodo.
Yep. So that's what I made. Brodo is Italian word for broth. Now, you're a vegetarian, so I made vegetable stock.
You're sweet.
No, I had to.
You're very sweet.
So but she made chicken stock. So either chicken stock or vegetable stock, or I guess we could do beef, but these are cheese tortellini. She had chicken, and brodo is the broth. So it's in there. It's underneath. I don't want to tilt it. It might spill. But that is good, if you don't feel well and you want something comforting. So, and a little parsley on top there. Then we were invited to these wonderful, and I want you to talk about
fanciness that you made.
Why not? So we were invited to this outdoor, like a farm, like you were talking about. What do they call that?
Agroturismo.
Agroturismo. So that kind of means farm to table, right?
They produce their own
Yeah.
meats, cheeses, whatever they provide the guests to eat.
And
usually comes
Pietro and Luciana were their names. They were super sweet. Their daughter was married to the son of this other these people, Nadia and Rafa, that own this. It's called Villaggio I Sorbizi. It's in Tuscany. It's a beautiful resort. I highly recommend it. And what they made that was just on the table was, because tomatoes are everywhere in Italy. Tomatoes. And they are like nothing you've ever had in your life. Like I was literally eating them as snacks, the little tomatoes.
Yes.
You can eat them as snacks. So they had these little tomatoes like this, so they hulled them out, and then they put tuna fish in there, which also had onions and tomatoes in there and a little bit of like basil and parsley. So I made those like little boats of that. And then, I forgot to tell you, for the tortellini, what they have there is not grated cheese they don't shake it out. Nothing is shaken out like that.
No.
They have these big hunks of Parmesan, and then they have these graters, and they grate it, and then they put it on. So the tortellini, we're going to grate this and put it on, and it's spectacular. And everywhere you look are beautiful olives, which I love anyway. I love olives.
Massimo's father makes his own, cures his own.
Okay, you see
They
what I'm
grow on
talking
the
about?
tree, they pick them and he cures them.
Right. That's how they do it.
Nothing like I've ever tasted.
Yeah, because you just can't believe it. And you don't need preservatives and all that stuff. And then, I love my salads. I'm a big fan of the salad. So tonight I made just a simple salad with green leaf lettuce, some cucumbers, red peppers, orange peppers. We'll put classic balsamic and oil, extra virgin olive oil. That'll be our salad. And then for dessert, I didn't want to get, anything too fancy, but my friend Billy Goffey, who a lot of you know, Billy Goffey, makes delicious biscotti, and he moved my car while I was away. So thank you, Billy. And he was cute enough to leave me biscotti in the car. So he made coconut biscotti.
Oh my
So
God,
I thought
delicious.
he makes amazing biscotti. He makes like 40 different versions. So that's what we are having after the show.
You just made everyone jealous.
I know. Well, that's what they love. My viewers and who are our friends, of course. Our viewers are our friends. They love the go ahead, keep eating part of the show, and they do it. Often they know it. All right. So now, Cheryl, I want you to talk about what you're doing over there as well. You're working with your husband and his family, and tell me what you do there.
Well, during the summer season is the high season for the bed and breakfast. So
And that would be like April to August?
yeah.
Yeah.
And
okay.
then it slows down because generally speaking, they get a lot of tourists, mainly from the north of Italy.
Oh, okay.
Because he lives
5
5 minutes from the sea.
Okay.
So it's literally walking distance.
Wow.
You're there in 5 minutes from where he lives.
So you're part of the cooking and kitchen staff and
Well, this
creating,
year
right?
I had been, when I visited him previously, I would help him. But this year I was, as he puts it, the queen of the
Well,
B&B.
Wow, how does his mother feel about that?
Well,
That's
no,
tough.
actually his mother is the sweetest. I mean, I feel like I was given a gift. The extra, the icing on this whole crazy cake is his parents. I feel like I've been given the greatest gift.
Isn't
in
that the
world.
nicest thing? Because not
And
everybody gets
they're
along with their
very
in-laws.
simple people, but just full of life.
But see,
and
simple
so happy.
is good.
Yeah. And no, I feel like I've helped her immensely, because before I came to this on the scene, she wasn't just helping Massimo with his bed and breakfast. There's also another on the 3rd floor, which his sister owns.
Oh my God.
Which is separate. And she was making desserts, or not desserts, breakfast foods for both, and also helping with the general cleaning. Like, everything gets ironed, and now it's ironed by me.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I
And
mean, it's an experience, because I had to speak Italian with all the guests.
No,
It's
you
not like-
speak Italian now.
No, oh my God, it's horrible.
No, I've heard you speak
No,
Italian.
it
It's not
really,
horrible.
it needs to come along a long way. I've gotten,
But don't you
considerably
find that
better.
being there, being like when they talk about immersion, being in where you're hearing Italian all
Oh,
day long
absolutely.
helps? You have to pick it up
Absolutely.
after a while.
Like, I would say I understand 95% of what's spoken. However, speaking is a completely different step.
Well,
I can
think
speak and string it together, and people are generous and understand and generally patient with me, but I'm sure making errors left and right.
Well,
I
I
sound
mean-
like I'm sure like a first grader.
No, I don't know about that. But I what I did find in Rome especially was that a lot of people spoke English as well.
Yes.
And I was so impressed. I mean, I couldn't believe how well people were speaking.
Yes.
So so I highly recommend going to Italy on vacation. I can't say enough about
Well,
it.
you won't be disappointed by the food nor the scenic surroundings.
Hold on one second. Jimmy, how we doing for time?
You got about 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you, sweetheart.
4 minutes.
4 minutes. Okay, so Jimmy is our producer and engineer. I did miss you last week, Jimmy, so I'm glad to be back. I want to thank Chris DiPiero and Silvana Mastrolia, those wonderful, wonderful friends of mine, talented people that ran What's the Story with Maria last week and did an incredible job. Except for Chris DiPiero taking my bobbleheads off because he's a Yankee fan. You know, I'm a Red Sox fan. And I'm going to get you for that. But other than that, the show was amazing. And Silvana, you know, you're fabulous and I love you. And they left me a really sweet note. So I found that a lot of people will speak English, at least they're trying it. I'm very impressed
Well,
by all that.
they have it in their schooling much earlier, from an earlier point than we do here.
Yeah, we
Foreign
need
language.
to. That's one thing I really, really realized.
You're lucky. You're so lucky. You were
That I'm
brought
bilingual,
up. Yes, absolutely.
Well, I couldn't speak English till I went to school. You know how I learned to speak English? Mr. Rogers. I couldn't speak English
That's
at all.
amazing.
None of us could, and we all grew up in this Italian
I
section.
love that your family did that, though, because they gave you.
They turned on the TV.
Such
My
a-
dad turned
a
on the
giant
TV and he
gift.
said, "You watch this guy, and you're going to learn how to speak it." And that's what I did. I watched Mr. Rogers, and it was before Sesame Street and all that stuff. So Mr. Rogers was like the what to watch. And then we all kind of learned together. These little Italian kids. We went to school together, but I highly recommend a second language. Also, Judy, we went to Milan for one day. Judy had a friend from high school, and her kid, she teaches English there.
Oh, fantastic.
She speaks Spanish because her parents are, I think, Ecuadorian, but she married an Italian. She lives there and teaches English. Her children, she only lets them speak English at home so that they will learn to speak English, and they are fluent. And the little boy is 5 and the little girl's 10.
And they can switch back and forth.
Yes,
It's amazing.
boom, boom, boom. It's
Yeah.
amazing. So that's, I mean, if your kids are learning a second language, it's amazing. So now, what are you working on now? Are you just taking a little bit of a breather for a minute?
Taking a little bit of a breather, but also there are talks, because we put up a show for some adolescent kids in his
Italy?
area. Yeah.
Wow.
Because Massimo had a good friend of his who's a percussionist and a professor at Bennington College. came out there, and he's good friends with Massimo, and he has a play that he's done for the past 10 years in Azores in Portugal,
Wow.
with the local kids to expose them to music and to dance and art.
Hold on one second.
Sure.
How much time, Jimmy?
In a minute.
Okay, we got a minute.
So anyway, there are plans of starting a school of the arts there for kids, another way to learn English. And I would be a part of that.
That is amazing. Okay, so Cheryl Orsini, Orsini,
Yes.
is my friend. She's the reason I live in this apartment. We played softball. We worked restaurants. She's so many great things, and I love her. And thank you for joining
Thank you.
us tonight. I love you, love you, love you. And come back next week, every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. What's the Story with Maria? Next week, we're going to have the Santoros of Paramus.
That sounds very exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting. They're my Italian family away from my Italian family in New Jersey. So I love you guys. And I'm sorry we couldn't read all the comments tonight. There was a lot going on, but I'm going to go back and comment. And we love you. Come back next week. Thanks, everybody.